Hello everybody, and welcome once again to another edition of Inside the Headset. Here we are, week 5, game 6. I'm with the head coach of the Blackman Blaze, Coach Philip Shadowens. Coach, last Thursday, played the Oakland Patriots. That game ended. You talked about it on your radio show. Was there anything else? Of course, you had Friday, and then you were at the radio show on Saturday. Was there anything else that you wanted to comment on that game?
Not really. I mean, I thought our kids played hard, fought. It's just a great high school game. I mean, you hate to lose a game like that, but you know, we're a foot away, and it's poor execution. Really, it was poor execution on both plays at the end of the game, not just one. It was poor execution on both plays. And, you know, we called a play that was probably a play that we've ripped 150 times at least since fall practice began, and we blocked it wrong the first play. And then the second play, we had two kids that obviously got caught up in the excitement or, you know, whatever the case may be, and didn't run the play that was called in the huddle. You know, we called two plays, obviously, from the sideline before we would come out of the timeout. So, but anyway, that happens. That's kids. You know, we should have repped it more during practice, I guess, or whatever. But it's some things that happens at the end of the game, and one team wins, one team loses, and you know, and you hate to be the one that loses in that kind of game. But still, great game, great high school game. Thought it was a fun deal to be a part of. Would have been funner to win, but that's kind of what you get with Blackman Oakland, is you get usually great games.
Well, and I totally agree. I come out here and I've interviewed you a bunch of times, and since I've been coming to practice at Blackman, I always notice, and I wasn't there always, usually on Thursday when you ended at Smyrna, but you know, the one thing I noticed is you practice the 2 minutes, you go over it. You've been going over it since you arrived in the spring of 2009 when you first started. I mean, that 2-minute drill and going over a lot of different plays and stuff, you've always gone over it. Injury-wise, how are you, Coach?
We're okay. Don't have any bad ones. Antonio Allen will not play tomorrow night, not due to an injury, but his grandmother died. He'll be in Florida.
Oh my gosh.
So he won't be playing.
And he had a heck of a I mean, you want to talk about a kid that had a nice performance Thursday night.
And he did some good things. Well, the thing we got to have at Antonio is he's got to be more consistent. He should be the best player in the league.
Yes.
And he has those kind of traits, and when he plays, he is. But he's got to learn to play more consistently, and so. But yes, so he won't be there. But you know, we got next guy in, so you know, we'll be fine.
Right. Other than that, you're going tomorrow night. You're back on the road. Bradley Central Bears. Coach Floyd. You got him last year. He's going to be looking for you this year. Talk about Bradley Central and the Bears.
A lot like they were last year. They lost some kids, but the best part about their football team, I think, is their offensive front and their defensive front. I think both of those are big and strong. You know, they got a UT commitment up front that plays, you know, offensive tackle and plays a 3 technique, a defensive tackle technique. But they have other kids. They're just big, strong, physical kids up front. They're solid in the skill positions. They don't have the one great receiver. They have one they like to go to. It's a really good player, but they don't have the one like they had last year that went to UT Chattanooga.
Right.
But quarterback's back, great athlete. He
can go.
He can play. He's a good runner. He's a good thrower of the ball. He's a good leader. It looks like he's definitely their offensive leader. So it'll be a challenge. You know, it's about us. It ain't about it. It's never about the other team. It's about us. And so we got to go out and execute. We got to come out and play hard. We got to play for 48 minutes. Do all the things we want them to do that we ask them to do. And if they'll do those things, then we'll be fine. And if we don't, then we'll lose. I mean, it's pretty simple for us. You know, you come out and you play your butt off for 48 minutes. You execute like you're supposed to. We win football games. If you don't, you lose. It's not. We can't show up and throw our hat out there and say we're going to win a football game. We have to play. And if we do that, we'll win a football game tomorrow night. If we don't come out ready to play, ready to bust our butts for 48 minutes, play physically, then we won't. I mean, it's that simple, and it's not rocket science, baby. It's just football.
Well, you know, and it's hard to imagine, but 5 games left in the regular season, and I do my math right. Usually, out of that, we got 5 pretty good weeks of practice. You count the off week, okay? So even though you're not going to play, you're going to still practice. So let's say 6 weeks. 3 of those are going to be pretty physical of those weeks. So you're looking at about 18 practices is all you got left.
At the very most. I mean, at the most of regular season.
I'm talking about for a senior, you've got 18 practices basically, and you got to make some decisions yourself whether or not you're going to be ready to, you know, take your juniors and your sophomores and your freshmen with you in the postseason.
Right. Well, it's really our success will be determined by our senior class. It always is. And,
yes, sir.
You know, we're sitting here at 3-2, and you know, we're fine. You know,
right.
We're in position to make the playoffs. We're in position to do all the things we want to do. But the bottom line is we got to come out and do it. So it's time to quit talking.
Yeah.
Time to start playing.
All right. Well, let's Blaze fans gathered up, and tomorrow night that's at Bradley Central. That'll be an hour differentiator, won't it? So it'll be at 6 o'clock.
It'll be 6:30 our time, 7:30 Eastern.
Let's go 6:30. Let's go 6:30 Blackman Blaze time. That's 7:30 Bradley Central. Y'all load up and go down and help Coach Shadowens and the Blackman Blaze take on the Bradley Central Bears.